Okay, today we are going to look at addition and subtraction of fraction. So first of all, look at addition and subtraction of fractions. Okay. Okay, so we are going to divide our board into two. So we are going to look at addition first. Okay, so let's take example. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so if we have 1/2 plus 3/4, so what are we going to do? We are supposed to take LCM of this 2 and 4. So if you watch our last video on how to do the LCM of two numbers, if you have 2 and 4, you have to use what can divide both to keep dividing. When you have exhausted dividing using what can divide both to divide, then you can now use whatever that is remaining to finish up the remaining numbers. So we have 2 here, we have 4 here. 2 can go in both, so I have 1 here, I have 2. So you can see that we have finished up with this one, but there's still 2 remaining. So we have to use another 2 to get 1 and 1. So that will give us 2 times 2. That will give us what? 4. So the LCM of 2 and 4 will give us what? 4. Okay. Now, what do we do next? Use this 4 here, 2 divided by this 4, 2 divided by this 4 will give us 2. Then that 2 times 1 will give us what? Will give us 2. Okay, then what we have, the sign that we have there is plus. Then 4 divide this 4 will give us 1. 1 times 3 will give us 3. So we'll write the 3 here. I hope you get the method. You use this number here to, use the number here, okay, 2 divided by 4, the answer will give you 2. Then use the 2 to multiply the numerator. Use the denominator to divide by the LCM. Then use the results that you obtain to multiply by the numerator you have here. Okay, so that's how we got these 2. Then you do the same thing for the next term, which is 4 divided by this 4. Okay, 4 divided by this 4, that will give you 1. Then that results as 1. Use it to multiply 3. That will give you 3. So if you add your numerator, you will have it as 5/4. So that's how we have answered that. So let's go to example number 2. Example number 2, if you have 7/5 plus, let's say 2/5. Okay, we have used a number that can divide the two numbers. So this time around, let's use a number that can not divide the 2. Okay, that cannot divide the 2. Let's use 4. Okay, so if you use 4, 5 and 4, we need to find the LCM. When you go over here and do your LCM of 5 and 4, in our last video, we learned how to do LCM of numbers. In this case, there is no common factor between 5 and 4. Okay, so we just go by our 5, 1, 5 here, 4. Then we'll now go with our 4. So we go with our 4, we have 1 and we have 1 here. So the product of this number here is our LCM. That will give us 5 times 4. That will give us what? 20. So LCM of 5 and 4 will give you 20. So 20 divided by 5, that will give you 4. 20 divided by 5 will give you 4. 4 times 7 will give you 28, plus 20 divided by 4, or 4 divided 20. So that will give you 5. 5 times 2 will give you what? 10. So you write it here. So you have seen how we got our numerator. You have seen how we get our what? Denominator. So the next thing to do is to add our numerator and write our answer, which is 38 over. Oh, there's a mistake there. So let's clean that. So we have 38 over 20. So in this case, there's something we can still divide. 2 can, I think 4 can go. Oh, 2. 2 can go. 2 here. 2 here will give us 17. Why? No. No. Okay. I think 4 can go. 4 here. 4 in 38 will give us 4 cannot go. Okay. So 2 here will give us 19. While 2 here will give us 10. So our answer will become 19 over 10. Okay. So there are some times that you might have the same denominator. For example, 1 over 2 plus 5 over 2. It's still the same thing that you are going to do, okay? It's still the same thing. Of course, LCM of 2 and 2 will give you what? 2. So 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. 1 times 1 will give you 1, plus 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. 1 times 5 will give you 5. So that will give you what? 6 over 2. That will give you us what? 3 as our answer. Okay, we can also have the same numerator but different denominator. Let's take an example for that. Let's assume that we have 4 over 3 plus 4 over 5. Okay, so what do we do? LCM of 3 and 5, I believe you can work that out. You can pause the video, work it out, and check your answer when you have played the video. So 3 and 5, the LCM will give you 15. So 15 divided by 3 will give you 5. That 5 times 4 will give you 20. Plus 15 divided by 4 will give you, and 15 divided by 5 will give you 3. Then that 3 times 4 will give you 12. So when you add your numerator, you are going to get 32 over 15. Okay, 32 over 15. I don't think there's anything that can go in those two numbers. Okay, so let us look at subtraction now. Okay, let's look at subtraction. Let's clean this place off. Okay. Okay, let's look at subtraction. Let's have example 1 here. So what we did in the addition is exactly what we are going to do in the subtraction. The only difference is that in subtraction, we subtract, and in addition, we add. So that's the only different thing. Okay, so in subtraction, let's take 3 over 5. Oh, minus this time around. So let's clean that. So minus 1 over 2. So you can pause the video and work out the LCM. So LCM of 5 and the 2 will give you 10. 10 divided by 5, that will give you 2. 2 times 3, that will give you 6. Minus 10 divided by 2, that will give you 5. 5 times 1, that will give you 5. So what we have there is 1 over 10. So let's just do one more example. You can see that is the same thing with the addition part. The only difference there is that here is addition, while here is what? Subtraction. Okay, so that will give us let's have a mixed fraction minus uh, a number that is not okay. Let's have this over 4 and have this over 12. Okay, let's say 14. I don't want to say 14. Let's clear that number there and have it as 5 over 12. 5 over 12. Okay, so what do we do in a case that we have a mixed fraction first, okay, or we have a mixed fraction with a proper or an improper fraction? So when you have a mixed fraction, the first thing to do is to change this mixed fraction to an improper fraction first, okay, before you carry out your subtraction. Yes, I understand that, or I know that some people work it out without changing first, but most times there is always a little error there. So the best thing to do is to change it to an improper fraction. When you change it to an improper fraction, you can now be able to work out your problem. So let's change this to improper fraction. 4 times 1, that will give you 4, plus 1, that will give you 5. I hope you have seen the way we did that. 4 times 1. So this 4 here times this 1 here, the whole number, that will give you 4. Then you now add the numerator, which is 5. So that will give us 5 over 4 minus 5 over 12. So you can see that we have gotten what we have been getting before, or the kind of number we have been getting before. So what do we do there? We first of all find the what? The LCM. So the LCM of 4 and 12 will give us, pause the video and work it out. That will give you 12. Okay, 12 divided by 4 will give you 3. 3 times 5 will give you 15, minus 12 divided by 12 will give you 1. 1 times 5 will give you 5. So when you subtract, that will give you 10 over 12. Okay, of course you can divide. 2 can go. 2 here will give you 5. 2 here will give you 6. So that will give you 5 over 6. Okay, so maybe we can actually work more examples. We can even have a combination. Okay, let's move to our second page. We can have a combination. We can have a combination of addition and subtraction, okay, in a particular question. Let's take example of that. And I'm going to impute a mixed fraction also. So let's say 1 over 4 over 10 minus 2 whole number 1 over 2 plus 5 whole number 7 over 12. Okay, so we can work this out. What do we do first? We first of all find the LCM, change all the mixed fraction to what? An improper fraction. Okay, so if I want to do that here, 10 times 1, that will give us 10, plus 4, that will give us 14 over 10, minus 2 times 2, that will give us 4, plus 1, that will give us 5 over 2, plus 12 times 5, that will give you 60, plus 7, that will give you 67 over 12. Okay, now we have 10, 2, and 12, so we need to find the LCM of these numbers. So let's come here and work it out. 10, 2, and 12. So what can we use to divide? 2 can go in all, so start with 2. 2 here will give us 5 2 here will give us 1, 2 here will give us 6. So you can see that there is no common factor between 5 and 6. So I can just go with my 5, which will give me 1, 1, and 6, and go with my 6, which will give me 1, 1, 1. Okay, so let's extend our line. So the product of this will give me my LCM. So that will give me 2 times 5 times 6. That will give me 60. Okay, so our LCM is 60. So that's what I'm going to use to work that out. So LCM 60. 60 divided, just like what we are doing before. So 60 divided by 10, that will give us 6. 6 times 14. 6 times 14, you can work that out as well. 6 times 14, this will give you 24. You take 2. This times this will give you 6 plus 2, which is 8. So that will give you 84. So you have 84 there, minus 60 divided by 2. That will give you 30. 30 times 5, that will give you 150, plus 60 times divided by 12. 60 divided by 12, that will give you 5. Okay, 60 divided by 12 will give you 5. Then 5 times 67. So we need to work that out. 67 times 5. 5 times 7, that will give you 35. So you write 5 and pick your 3. 5 times 6 will give you 30, plus 3, that will give you 33. So we have plus 335. Okay, so we need to work this out. Okay, this one is positive, this one is positive, 84 is positive, 335 is positive, but 150 is negative. So I can go to my rough sheet and work that out. Meanwhile, let's divide this so that we cannot confuse our working with our rough sheet. Okay, so coming to our work, we have 335 plus 84, because these two numbers are positive numbers. So we add 2 of them together. 5 plus 4, that will give us 9. 3 plus 8 will give us 11. So we write 1 and take 1. 1 plus 3 will give us what? 4. Then we are subtracting 150. So we now say minus 150. Okay, that will give us 9 plus 0, that will give us 9. 1 plus 5, that will give us 6. 4 plus, oh, sorry, we are actually subtracting. So let's subtract. Let's clean this. 9 minus 0 will give us 9. 1 minus 5 cannot go, so we have to borrow here. When you borrow 1 here, you have 3 here. You put it here, it will give you 11. 11 minus 5, that will give you 6. Then 3 minus 1, that will give you 2. So what we have there is 269 over 60. So from what I can see, 3 might go. So let's check whether 3 can go. I'll go to my rough sheet here. I'll have it as 269 over 3. 3 in 26 will give us 6. Remember 2. Oh, that can go. Okay, that can go. So I don't think anything can go in this. So you can still check it out. Try to divide it and see if you can be able to break it down. Okay, so you can see when we combine both addition and subtraction and having a mixed fraction, we can actually work that out, though it took us a little time. But you know, when you practice a lot, you get used to it, and it will be very, very much easier for you to do. Okay, so in our next video, we are going to look at multiplication and division of fraction. Okay, of fraction that have just numbers. Remember, we are dealing with 2 different kind of fractions here. We are going to deal with fractions with numbers. Well, that's the reason why in our previous video we did LCM of numbers. Then we are also dealing with algebraic fraction. That is also the reason why in one of our videos in the past we have done LCM of algebraic expression. So in our next video we are going to look at multiplication and division of fraction that have just numbers. Okay, multiplication and division of fraction that have just numbers. So please, I would like you to share this video to your friends, to your family members, okay, that are doing this topic so that they can learn with us. And please subscribe so that we can be able to grow the page, okay? So that we can be able to grow the page. Share, like, press your like button so that, okay, that's the only thing you can help me out to do, okay? We are going to treat all the topics, okay? We are going to take it one step at a time. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.